Welcome back to my garden. Behind me you will see our beautiful orchid tree. During the months of the heat of the summer, June, July, and August, this tree grows so fast and it looks so beautiful and so full. But if you don't keep up with the pruning of the leaves, it will turn into a cave and we won't be able to see the trunk or the flower bed below it. So today we are going to prune our tree, and I'm going to try to propagate it so that we can grow more orchid trees from what we already have. I think it is so unique with gardening that almost every plant you have can be reproduced either by cuttings or by seed without you having to go to the garden center and buy more plants. Gardening is a very fun hobby, but it can add up really fast and get very expensive. So this year, instead of buying new plants to introduce to our garden, I'm going to work with the plants that we have and try to make more of them, whether for my garden or to give as gifts to friends. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. All right, as you can see, these branches are getting really close to me. We are trying to keep them high enough that average adult can walk under without the leaves and branches being low, because if we don't, that's how they are going to grow, and it will be really hard to get under our tree and use it for the shade like we want. So the ones I'm focusing on are the ones that are really low today. So we're going to start here with this one so that you can see me, and we'll just keep on going. I'm using my big clippers and just cutting them down. All right, so I have trimmed my top here on my left and your right. And you'll see I can walk right under it now and don't worry about them in my face. And over here on the other side, you'll see they're still quite low. So that's our difference. So that's gonna be our goal for our whole tree. Let's see how it goes. All right, our trimming is done. We got a big container to throw away of our leaves, and we're ready to start propagating. One thing with this Hong Kong orchid tree is they are so beautiful. In the fall they give you the most beautiful flowers, and in the summer they give you a nice great shade, but they are a lot of maintenance. This container we have here, we have to do this at least once a month in the summer months. If not, your tree will grow out of control. So that is one thing to think of if you're thinking about getting this tree for yourself, that you make sure you have the time to maintenance it so that you can keep it looking as a nice beautiful tree that it is now. You'll see that our tree is a little bit tilted. I don't know if you can tell from this angle, but in Hurricane Irma, this tree fell down and now it started to grow sideways, and now it's growing straight up again. It's a very, very great tree. It bounces back very easily. I've seen people cut it all the way off at the bottom and it just starts a brand new tree like that. All right, let's try this propagating and hope it works. All right, we are ready to start propagating. Let's go over the tools we have. We have some perlite, and we're gonna put our cuttings in the water to keep them fresh. We got a shovel. We have a misting bottle. We might actually use the hose to mist it for this first time, but that's what we will probably use. We got a bucket so that we can use to mix the perlite and the peat moss, and we got a bucket to mix it in. And then back here we have a clear bucket that we are going to use as a greenhouse. We're going to use these seed starting trays here that we actually purchased some other plants in, and we're going to put the top on and keep it nice and moist, so hopefully they grow nice and big and beautiful for us. We also got some skewers to help us with the hole and also to help the plants stand up tall, and we got our pruners. We're going to prune off the excess leaves, and we got some rooting hormone. So let's see how the process goes. And if I can get just one of these plants to grow, I will be very, very happy. Right, Abigail? Yeah. Okay, so we are going to start off with the cuttings that we took from our tree. So we did cut some really long pieces, but in order to do the propagating, we need to have about 4 or 5 inches long pieces. And they need to be thinner than a pencil. So it looks like this one should be pretty good. The other thing that it needs is at the very end, you'll want to be sure that it has new growth coming in. That way you'll know that it should be a nice healthy plant. So I'm going to take my little pruners that I have here, and we're going to cut off the excess leaves. That way the plant can focus on growing roots instead of focusing on growing the leaves. I'm taking off all the big ones. I'm going to leave the little ones at the very top. Okay, so here's our first one ready to go. We're going to put it in our water. Abigail, you want to do that part for me?
Yep.
That way, hopefully, it will keep it nice and fresh while we're doing this process. Okay, we're going to do that with all the rest of them.
What do you do after you dip it in water?
Just let it sit there for now. Okay, so for our mix today, we're going to use half perlite and half peat moss, the exact measurements, or very close measurements. Okay, so I'm going to pour it in this bucket. We'll use this bucket for reference. All right, we're going to do it like half full.
Feel it?
Yeah, you can feel it. What does it feel like?
It feels like stones and lumber. It feels like stones mostly.
Yeah, so perlite is supposed to give air in the soil. In our perlite.
That feels nice and stony.
And over here we have our peat moss.
Peat moss. Is it like dirt?
It is kind of like dirt. So let's look at it here. And I think the peat moss helps it to hold in the moisture.
It looks kind of like dirt. Also like.
You want to show them the camera? We forgot to show them the perlite. This is what the peat moss looks like. Kind of looks just like dirt. Like Abigail will show you.
This is what the perlite looks like.
Oh, let's see. That's the perlite. It looks just like little stones, and we're gonna mix it all together.
And it feels like stones too.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna put it in here, and let's use our shovel to mix it together.
Can I mix it?
Yeah.
Mixy,
Okay, looks pretty good. Let me see.
Now the perlite looks dark like this, like the peat moss. It doesn't look like white anymore.
All right. So now, if we look at our mix, you can see it's white and brown. So it's a good mix of both of them.
Ooh, I can feel both of them together. It feels cool.
All right. So now we're going to take our little seed starting tray that we have here. And we're going to fill up each of these little containers.
But isn't that going to come out? There's holes.
There are holes, but I think it should be fine. We can put it in the container if you would like.
Yeah, maybe we should do that first.
Okay, so this is our seed starting tray. We're going to put it in our little greenhouse. And Abigail is going to fill up each one of the little holes with her perlite and peat moss mixture.
So I'm just taking like 3 big scoops on this shovel, and I'm putting it into the planting bowl. Eesh, that's a little hard. I'm putting it into the planting bowl and making it be full for the. Is this supposed to be in there? I'm making it nice and full all the way to the tippy top. Well, then we go on the next row. There's 3 rows.
All right, looks like we're a third of the way there. Good job, Abigail. Good job. Okay, so now Abigail is gonna mist our pots for us so that we can get it nice and moist. So we want each one to have quite a bit of water so that it can soak in the water so that it will be able to keep the new plants nice and moist. All right, you can go to the next one, Abigail. And you'll see when she waters it, it's pushing the dirt down and we can see the perlite more. That's kind of interesting, huh, Abigail?
Yeah.
She has our big water hose attachment. We really like it. It works really good. I like this one. It's the best one that we've ever had. And that one looks good. You can go to the next one. All right, we're almost done with this process.
It's kind of strange how first you don't see the what's it called? First you don't see the pool light, then it just like gets unhidden. At this next one, you might see it looks mostly just dirt, but then when you put the water on it, there's pool light.
Okay, so now that we have our mixture in there and it's water, we're using these little skewers to make a hole so that we can put our new little plants in there and hope that they grow. And we have 2 holes in each of our seed starting tray because we did try to grab 18 little new starts. So we'll see how they work. All right, so now we're gonna take our rooting hormone. You can get any brand. This is the type that they had at Walmart, so we'll hope that this one works. I have tried it before and it wasn't successful, but I also didn't follow all the rules. So this time we're trying to follow all the rules, hoping that everything will work out perfectly. So here's our little cutting. We got them in water just to keep them nice and moist while we were working to get everything else done. So it's nice and moist on the bottom. And you're gonna stick it in the rooting hormone and wiggle it around and it'll be nice and white. And then you just tap it on the side of the container to get off the excess. And you want about 1 inch or 2 that has the hormone. And then we're gonna put that here in our hole. And we'll fill it in. Okay, here's my second one. I got it nice and powdered. Gonna put it here in my little container. Okay, already have here. And we'll fill it in just like that. We're gonna do that for all the rest of them. Okay, we have all of our starts potted and ready to grow, and we're gonna mist them one more time, make sure the container is nice and misted and moist so that they can grow. All right, Abigail is getting us all misted so that our plants can grow nice and good. We'll see you on our next adventure.